Today, I'll walk you through step by step how to read and understand the execution history in Make, including exactly how to inspect the output of every module inside a branching scenario. Make is one of the most powerful no-code automation platforms available right now. And knowing how to read your scenario's history isn't just a troubleshooting skill. It's the difference between guessing why something broke and knowing precisely what happened. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe, and let's get started. The first thing to understand is what the execution history actually is. Every time your scenario runs, whether it's triggered by a new email, a form submission, a scheduled timer, or anything else, Make records a complete log of that run. This log lives inside the History tab of your scenario. To find it, open your scenario and look for the tabs along the top of the screen. Click on History and you'll see a list of every recent execution showing the date, the time, the status, and how many operations were used. Operations are the currency of Make. Each module that successfully processes data consumes one, so this view also helps you keep an eye on your monthly usage. Click on any individual execution to open the visual log, and this is where things get genuinely interesting. When you open an execution, you're looking at your scenario diagram, but now it's alive with color. This is the visual log, and it tells the full story of what that specific run did. Green paths, the highlighted, lit-up connections between modules, show every route that data actually traveled. If a module glows green, it means data reached it, was processed, and moved on successfully. Gray paths show the branches that were skipped entirely. This happens most often with routers. A router is a module that splits your scenario into multiple branches, each governed by its own set of filters or conditions. When incoming data meets the condition for branch 1 but not branch 2, branch 1 lights up green and branch 2 stays gray. That is not an error, that is the filter working exactly as intended. Beginners often panic when they see gray paths and assume something is broken, but gray simply means this branch was not relevant to this particular piece of data. Learning to distinguish between an intentional skip and an actual failure is one of the most valuable skills you can develop in Make. Green and gray tell you the path the data took, but they don't tell you what the data actually looked like at each step. For that, you need to inspect individual module outputs, and this is where the magnifying glass bubble comes in. When you're inside the execution history view, hover over any module that sits after a router, and you'll see a small icon appear above it. It looks like a magnifying glass inside a speech bubble. That is the inspect icon. Click it. A panel will open showing you the full output of that module for this specific execution run. Expand the output section and you'll see the exact data this module produced. The bundles, the arrays, the individual field values, everything. A bundle in Make terminology is simply one complete set of data. Think of it as one row in a spreadsheet or one item from a list. If your module processed 3 records, you'll see 3 bundles listed, and you can expand each one individually to inspect every field inside it. This level of detail is extraordinarily powerful for debugging. Imagine your scenario is supposed to send a Slack message whenever a new Airtable record is created, but the message isn't going through. Rather than staring at your modules trying to guess the problem, you open the execution history, find the failed run, and click the inspect icon on the Slack module. The output will show you exactly what data Make tried to send, and often right there in the output, you'll spot a field that's empty when it shouldn't be, or a value formatted in a way that Slack rejected. The problem that seemed invisible becomes completely obvious the moment you look at the raw data. Always inspect before you change anything. Diagnose first, then fix. One best practice tip worth keeping in mind. If your scenario uses filters on a router branch and you're not seeing data come through on a branch you expected to be active, don't adjust the filter blindly. Instead, open the execution history, inspect the output of the module directly before the router, and check what the actual field value was in that run. You may find the data arriving was formatted slightly differently than you assumed. A lowercase letter where you expected uppercase, a date in an unexpected format, or a stray space hiding inside a text field. The execution history gives you the ground truth, and the inspect tool puts that truth directly in front of you every time. You've now learned 2 of the most essential debugging skills in Make: reading the visual execution log to understand which paths your data traveled, and using the inspect icon to see the exact output of any module in a branching scenario. Together, these tools let you understand, diagnose, and confidently improve any scenario you build. As a next step, try revisiting one of your existing scenarios after its next run, and spend a few minutes exploring the history. Even when everything worked perfectly, you'll learn something new about how your data actually moves through the flow. Save or bookmark this video so you can come back to these steps whenever you need a refresher, and I'll see you in the next one.